Welcome to Halo Effect, and please don't forget to subscribe and click that notification button.
One of the things that I talked about in nape to heart, managing it every day, is circulation, right? So the top of your head, it's very difficult to get blood up there unless you're standing on your head every day, like I say. So we gotta help support drive blood up there. Why? Because the blood is going to carry the nutrients and oxygen. It's going to drive it up there so that the hair that's growing in the follicles, it's getting everything it needs, Also, whole other video to talk about nutrients and things we need, because again, remember that the nutrients that we take in, the body is going to give it first to our vital organs. And the very last thing it will give to is your skin, hair, and nails. And if you don't have enough or the right ones for us after 50, because we have different needs, then you're not getting anything, or you're getting a very depleted level of what you need for your hair, skin, and nails. And if that happens with your hair, it'll just start shedding. And before it sheds, the quality will change. So we really want to be able to give it what it needs. So part of that is topically and also being able to manipulate it. So this will be one of my many recipes, but this is, I make my own hair oil as one of the things that I do. And this is, you can see I need to make some more soon, I'm running out, but this is rose buds and rose petals, organically grown, and then grapeseed oil. I like grapeseed oil. I'll be telling you about all different kinds of oils and why they're good for us. But one of the reasons why I like grapeseed oil, especially to use as a day-to-day basis, is because it's so, it's not a thick oil, so it doesn't sit on top and collect dirt and certain things like that, where I would rather use a thicker oil if I'm going to do a deep treatment or something like of that nature, where I need that kind of thick, oily, rich with whatever nutrients it's in, but I'm going to wash it out, or I'm going to leave it on overnight and I know I'm going to wash it out the next morning. That's fine. But in a day-to-day, something that's very light and my skin's going to absorb it immediately, it'll start processing its nutrients. Grapeseed oil is one of the great ones that I found. The other thing in it is rosebuds and ginseng. So ginseng is really great for activating things. So that's what this one is. I'm just using it. I'm not going to go into the recipe and how to make it. That's a different video. Watch that one. But I'll show you how to do this process. The second thing I'm going to be using is this. So I'm going to show you different kinds of tools to massage your hair with, including how to do it manually, just with your hands. This is one of my current favorites. I like it for a number of reasons. One is I love this. This is Jade with these. You can screw these off. I don't know why. Maybe you can replace them with other ones. I have no idea. But I love the Jade and how it's sort of a little bit rounded points. So it just really captures the scalp and what I need it to do as far as the manipulation, and that there's a lot of them, so I cover a lot of ground when I work with it. Also, that this wood here is very ergonomical in terms of like holding it, as opposed to like flat massagers and things like that. The last thing is, if you have hair like mine, or even your hair has a tighter texture than mine, you're in the 4C category, you're in the 4s, we have to deal with the same thing. Whatever these tools are that they come out with that we put in our hair, forget about it. I'm gonna rip out part of my hair. The minute it touches in there, it just gets tangled up in everything. I really like how, and I'll show you how this works so well with tighter textured hair. So give this a try if that's something that you deal with. The last reason is because I say nape to heart. This tool goes so well on my scalp, to my face, to my neck, and to my heart. So I'll be showing you. You're gonna take the oil, and this is not about drenching your scalp, because again, remember, this is a daily practice. I'm gonna take longer because I'm talking and walking you through this, but this entire process should take you 5-6 minutes. That is clearly something you can do every morning, afternoon, before you go to bed. Great benefit about doing it before you go to bed is you, as your body regenerates in its sleep and starts to heal itself and goes through all the things that it needs to distress and all of the things that function and work and turn over in your body, putting nutrient dense quality excuse me, ingredients on your head is really great because it runs through your bloodstream, you're sleeping, it's working, fantastic. But if you want to do it in the morning, that's fine too, or interchangeable, whatever. Just as long as you do it every day. A little bit every day is huge in terms of its value. So what I do is I take the oil, I just turn it upside down so I get such a minimal amount. Again, it's not a lot. I'm going to do that a few times. And what I'm doing it is distributing. All I want to do right now is distribute it. So I'm going to start back here. I'm just going to just that the same way. If I was showing you on my face, I'd be doing this, right? Just rubbing in it. I'm just going to rub it here. Then I'm going to go get some more. I'm going to rub it, make sure that I'm just making sure it touches skin, right? I'm not massaging it in, just rubbing it in. It's a lean amount. I do like to focus a little bit more in really making sure I get it on that crown, like I told you, for those reasons, because that's why a lot of hair breaks off up here, or maybe you start to have that thinning crown. So I like to focus a little bit more, make sure I'm getting it spread out. So again, you're not massaging in. If you see me rubbing, all I'm really trying to do is distribute it. Just trying to distribute a little bit of oil in every part. And then one of the areas that you really want to make sure you concentrate on is, no, I don't have any food for you, babe. One of the things you really want to concentrate on is right up here and here, right? So we tend to thin, like I see a lot of women that I could just see directly through in their scalp, right in the front here. So you want to make sure you distribute always, right? And your this receding hairline area here tends to get really thin as well. And then your hairline along here. Also, if you wear really tight hairstyles back, you don't want to do that because you're constantly pulling at it. Okay, so now I've distributed a light amount of oil on my scalp, something that's not going to all of a sudden make my hair greasy or have to wash it. If you have straighter hair, straight, fine hair, straight, fine, thinning hair, even a little bit of oil may make your hair greasy, but you're probably somebody who washes their hair more often than, let's say, somebody like me or a tighter textured woman who has that kind of hair. We wash our hair less because we have to deal with the drying out of the hair, and we have to manually make sure that moisture goes all the way to our ends. Whereas if you have straight hair, your natural oils they'll slide right down. It's like sliding down a pole versus having to go on an entire maze. It takes longer, right? So that's what we have to contend with. So I know that's a little bit different, but again, like I said, if it's a light oil and you're just distributing a little amount, you should have no problem with that to do it on a daily basis. If it's too much for you, just do it every other day and just do something else, not the oil, but something else that I'll be rolling out in videos, okay? Okay, so now you have your tool, right? You're gonna take your tool and you can start with the nape, you can start with the top, wherever you want. You just wanna make sure you cover the whole area first, your scalp, right? So I'll start, since we're looking at each other, typically I'd start back here, but I'll start here. So I run it up and down like this. Oh my goodness, this feels so good. And like I said, this is jade, so it's pretty firm. I'm not going really hard on my scalp. What I'm doing is I'm massaging the area so blood comes flowing to it, and also the oil that's in it with those wonderful nutrients from the rose petals and the grapeseed oil and ginseng and whatever oil I'm using that I've made or that I could purchase is now working its way into the skin. It's just not sitting on top of there. So I'm making sure to do that. You have certain pressure points in acupressure. You have certain pressure points around your scalp that assist hair growth. There's some right here, there's one here, and there's some back here. And you can spend more time in those areas. I'll have another video that goes more into that so you know specifically where they are and what they are and the whole thing. But for now, I'm just gonna go through this whole process. So when you're doing the back, if you want to put a light bit of oil and go all the way down, your neck is going to thank you. That area tends to get really tight, and you can handle that with your whole process. So I'm rubbing it back here, right? Making sure, oh my goodness, this feels so good. You take the same process, so you put the oil on there, and you'd run this tool, and you want to go from center out, because what you're doing is you're not only massaging to activate the ligaments and the muscles and the nerves and all of that, you're doing it, but also you have pressure points in here that on your face that connect to your vital organs. So your kidney, your heart, your spleen, your pancreas, all of that actually has access. It gets activated here. The other thing that's really great in terms of this whole process is that after 50, there are many of us who talk about, like, if we even have one glass of wine or coffee too late or eat something with too much sodium, we maybe used to be able to have that and consume that before, but not now. It just shows up in your face and your face is all puffy and all that kind of stuff. So this helps drain the lymph nodes in the process. So you want to assist that along the way. So you start at your forehead, right? So you can see, I think you can see, that when you do this, it gets kind of red, and you want to go all the way over to here, right? So, because this is where the drainage comes along the way. So going here, right? You go between here. So you're doing this whole process. I'm going to do a different video to just focus on the face at some point, so I'll be able to go. But I go all the way on my neck, all the way down. Now what I've done, and I could feel my whole head is like alive. My face is, because I've now done something to send blood to the whole of my head. And that's what we want to do. We want to manage this whole thing, right? So that we're getting that extra pour, and not just the scalp, not just doing your facial stuff, but the whole thing. So that oil that I made and all the ones that I'll be sharing with you about, there's going to be no difference between putting it on my face in terms of value and in terms of how wonderful it'll respond. Your face and your scalp will love you, your neck will love you, your chest will love you, like that. So that is the first practice I'm gonna have you do and practice. You can get this on Amazon. I'll put the link in below, and then also the video on how to make rose oil. Thank you for watching. Please subscribe. Please share with other 50-something women, and please hit the notification bell so that you know when the next video is coming. I do videos every single week.